Alright, I'm gonna make an Indian curry. I've got a can of fire roasted diced tomatoes with green chilies. I've got 2 Hungarian wax chilies. I've got a chili chilaka. These are awesome. A big red chipotle jalapeno. It's not actually chipotle because it's not smoked, but it's red. Got 2 huge shallots. I've got a bag of yellow onions over here. I've got huge cloves of garlic, 2 of those. Sesame seeds, cumin seeds, cinnamon that I ground from a stick. I've got ground cardamom right there that's going to go in my garam masala mix that we're going to make, and we're going to be using coconut oil for this. So I have everything out. I need to chop all this up and get it ready. I'm not sure what ratio of anything I'm going to use because I'm just going to wing it. All the recipes I read literally are, every one of them's different, so I'm just going to do it different too. I got fish sauce. I think I'm going to use bouillon, fish sauce, coconut milk, stuff like that in my rice. My ginger right here, and some lemongrass I got in the freezer. But Indian curry does not have coconut milk in it, and Indian curry does not have lemongrass in it, and probably not fish sauce. I did not ask, but we're gonna wing this and see what happens. Medium heat, and letting the pan warm up. It's not warm at all. This is a big pan, thick pan. It's cold right now. We're gonna do about 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. That's coconut oil. And we're gonna cut our chicken up. We don't have to. You don't really have to cut the chicken up. But we're going to cut it up. We got 2 big breasts here. I used 3 for the Thai curry. Chicken went up. I didn't want to spend a bunch on shit, but I don't know if it's going to come out right or not. So I got 2 here. And I am just cutting it up kind of willy-nilly, bite-sized. No rhyme or reason. Sorry about the gunshots. Sometimes they're dancing and drinking, sometimes they're drinking and shooting. Every time I go try to record them shooting, they stop though. So our coconut oil is hot. We're not putting the chicken in yet. We're gonna do just like with the Thai curry. So I just cut up all this tamarind. I used 1 big long bean and 3 small beans. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds worth. However you measure tamarind, I'm not sure. That's what I'm putting in there. Putting in this red jalapeno I cut up, the chili chilaka I roasted, 2 Romanos, and a hothouse tomato. I'm gonna put it in this food processor and blend it up with this can of fire roasted diced tomatoes with green chilies. And that's going to be my sauce, my flavorful liquid that I'm going to cover my chicken and onions in. And we're going to make the spice blend here in a minute. I just roasted the cumin seeds, and we're going to mix up the spices here in just a moment. Alright, we got a hot pan here. I'm going to toast these sesame seeds for just a second. We've got 2 big, huge shallots cut up that are almost as big as these onions. 2 yellow onions. We got sweet bells. Those are about done. I'm gonna turn the heat off. The pan was already hot, but they're popping like popcorn. So those are done enough. These, we got 2 sweet bells. We got 2 huge cloves of garlic. Huge. Almost as big as elephant garlic. We got 13 slices of jalapenos, the little sweet bells, and the 2 Hungarian yellow wax peppers. And that's going to be our peppers, and that's going to be our onions. This is our tomato blend that we're going to use for our flavorful liquid. It is what I showed you before, except I did add a cube of tomato chicken bouillon just for saltiness, and it's still got very little saltiness to it. You don't want to really salt until you're done, but this is our spice blend I just made. I haven't even mixed it up yet. This is garam masala, is how I was told to pronounce it. I pronounced it right, unbelievably, to the guy, and he said that's correct. So we're good. Now I made my own because I got a headache trying to make other people's. That's what's in it right there. Tablespoon of cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of cardamom, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of white pepper, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of clove, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of bay, 1/2 teaspoon of marjoram, 1 tablespoon of curry powder. None of them had that. I added it. 1/2 teaspoon of coriander and 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. Alright, that's our stuff that we're using. That's our spices. We're gonna put 1.5 tablespoons of this stuff in our chicken once we get it going, you know, our mix. Anyway, we're gonna throw it in with all this delicious stuff we got chopped up here, and our liquid we're gonna pour over it. Medium heat, and letting the pan warm up. It's not warm at all. This is a big pan, thick pan. It's cold right now. We're gonna do about 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. That's coconut oil. And we're gonna cut our chicken up. We don't have to. You don't really have to cut the chicken up. But we're going to cut it up. We got 2 big breasts here. I used 3 for the Thai curry. Chicken went up. I didn't want to spend a bunch on shit, but I don't know if it's going to come out right or not. So I got 2 here. And I am just cutting it up kind of willy-nilly, bite-sized. No rhyme or reason. Sorry about the gunshots. Sometimes they're dancing and drinking, sometimes they're drinking and shooting. Every time I go try to record them shooting, they stop though. So our coconut oil is hot. We're not putting the chicken in yet. We're gonna do just like with the Thai curry. Now the Indian guy at the store, he's from Nepal, I believe. He said they do not use coconut milk in their curry. But he's down to try something new. So I'm gonna make lemongrass coconut milk rice probably to go with this. But for right now, we're gonna use our onions. And he wanted an onion curry. So this is, they call, I noticed when I was reading, they call these purple onions, which they're shallots. Well, and then it specifically says not to use actual purple onions, but what we call red onions, I guess, here in the United States. They say they do use them, but it's not recommended. So we're going to break those down and sweat them just like we did the others. I left a lot of them stringy on purpose because that's how I want it. I don't know, I just kept seeing it in my head as being stringy. A little thinner than that, but I went with that thickness just because. And then I have some chunks, you know, just to break things up. You know, everything shouldn't be exactly the same unless you're at a French restaurant. And then everything should be the same and just as shitty as the last bite, you know. So we're trying to do something cool here. We're going to break those down in coconut oil. And usually I do not salt, but I'm going to salt these just a little. There's about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt I added, not much. But I want to kind of slow the cooking down, and salt inhibits cooking. It will slow your cooking down. So we're going to slow it down like DJ Screw. And I'm going to take some of these seeds out of these jalapenos, even though I know they would probably like them in there. I don't. And I got to eat the shit too, so. Now what I could do is slice up this apple chili here and give it a little bit different heat. And I think I will. I think I'll put a slice of it, one slice of this in there. Because this is a different, I'm going to use this to heat my onions up. This is a different heat in these chilies. It's sweet and good and flavorful, but it's different. It's the only pepper with black seeds. I still have not got any to grow either, which is kind of disheartening, you know, being as I grow things. Well, they were out of ammo last week. I guess they got plenty tonight. But we're gonna throw some of this apple chili in there. It's got a really cool texture, so it's hard to cut with a knife like that, but we're gonna flavor it because Indian dishes are supposed to be hot. Well, I want this one to be warm, not hot. You know, because I gotta eat it, like I said. So we're gonna break that down for a minute. This is gonna be mostly vegetables. Not a lot of meat in this. This is our meat. I mean, we got a pretty good amount of white chicken breast there, but we've got an even better amount of beautiful vegetables. And then we got this. I mean, how pretty can you get, you know? There's only so much fucking color you can add to a dish, I think. We've toasted our sesame seeds. They're ready to go. We've got our spice blend ready to go. And a tamarind seed. Don't want that in there. I'm going to plant those tamarind seeds. I have grown those trees, and they're cool little trees. I thought they were really neat when I grew them. They look kind of like a mimosa when they come up. Not the drink, a mimosa tree. But you'll just enjoy the gunshots and watch the onions cook. Now, on the Thai stuff, they put the garlic in about right now. And I remember saying, I don't know why they put it in so early. But it worked. It was good. It turned out fucking amazing, actually. It's one of the best things I've ever eaten, and I made it. If you haven't tried that Penang curry that I have a video of, you need to hurry. You need to try it. But I want these onions to break down and get soft. Remember last time on the other video, the peppers didn't get soft. They stayed pretty firm, but they were cut thicker than this, and they were bell peppers, which are all sweet. Well, I have a huge variety of peppers, everywhere from Hungary to Peru over here. And then a few varietals from hothouses and things that don't even grow in the wild or in nature. So, I mean, we're going to have a really interesting pepper blend over here. I could start the rice now, but I won't be able to get it all on camera, so I'll just wait on that. I'm just glad they're not listening to Tejano full blast out there tonight. I have a fucking headache. Which, I think they listen to Tejano on purpose to give themselves a fucking headache all day long, so that way the next morning when they drink all night and they wake up with a hangover, it already just sounds like they're still listening to Tejano just pounding, you know, pounding in their fucking head. That's what I think anyway. I think I have it all figured out. But we're going to break these down a little more. I'm going to pause it for a second so they can get done shooting out there. No, we'll just listen to it. It's alright. I need to pause it and run out and get my cup out of the car. So I paused it, ran out, got my cup out of the car, and came back in, and it smells so fucking delicious in this house. It smells like the sesame seeds I toasted. It smells like these onions and peppers and shallots, garlic, coconut oil. You can smell the garam masala, all the different spices. I mean, it really fucking smells good in here right now, and I haven't even thrown it all together yet, so that's cool. These onions are about halfway where I want them to be when I throw these peppers in. I want them to be soft and stringy. I actually had a dream about this. I mean, not to sound goofy or weird, but I had a dream that it was stringy. That's how it's supposed to be. And getting information out of those guys is not easy. Like, and then you go online and it's even fucking worse, honestly. It's like, well, I could guess better than this, you know, because you can click on 5 different recipes for the same thing and every one of them's got a different spice blend. It's all preference, and it's all probably demographics and geographic location. And we don't live in Nepal or India or Pakistan or any of that shit, so we gotta guess. And I think I did a pretty good job guessing at this right here, because that smells awesome. Really, really awesome. You can smell it when you come in the house, and it's not even cooking, it's just in the jar. Alright, so look how pretty that is. We're going to cook that for just a minute. Not very long. We're not going to cook it for very long. And I don't even know if I'm going to use cornstarch yet, so I don't have any mixed up. You just use a table. I've used a tablespoon of cornstarch last time. Anyway, I used a tablespoon of cornstarch last time. And I think I put a pinch of white pepper. Just my air conditioner blew it away, but a pinch of white pepper and a pinch of black pepper in the other one, so we'll do that. Black pepper is the #1 most used spice in the world. Oh, you know what? We need to move all this off to the side. This is a little trick I saw in one of the videos I actually watched. And I did manage to forget to cut this pepper up. Let's see if any oil will run down. If not, I'm going to add some. It's not going to hurt anything at all. It's coconut oil. It's good for you. Okay, I'm just going to add just a little bit of coconut oil right there. That's about all I got. About out of it. But we just want a little puddle of it over here in the edge of the pan. Let's pick some more of that up. You can get that at the Dollar Tree. It's the best brand there is, Butcher Board. One teaspoon of mustard seeds. When they start to pop, you're going to cover them back up and mix them in with all this. These guys are not going to know what to think about this apple chili. I'm going to put the rest of it in there. Just because. I mean, I'll tolerate it, but I seriously doubt they've ever ate one. And they love fucking peppers. So those mustard seeds back there are still not popping. They're almost close, so they're browning a little bit. But these manzano chilies, or manzana chilies, they're with the black seeds, they're ricotta peppers, I believe is what they're called. But they're from Peru. So I doubt these fellas have ever had one. And they have a different heat to them. Like I said, it's big time different. It's not anything like a jalapeno or a Thai chili or any of that shit. It's a different species of pepper. Okay, now those pop. Some of those mustard seeds popped out. We're gonna mix all this together now. Got our black pepper. Yeah, those mustard seeds are popping a little bit. So got our black pepper, white pepper. Got all our. Look at that pretty color. I mean, it's unfortunate we gotta get rid of that pretty color. Like dump tomatoes on top of it. This would be good as a vegetarian dish, just like this. I used to cook for a rabbi, and he would have said, "Oh, you serve this to the congregation," just like that. All right. Now pull it off to the side, because we don't want our peppers getting totally done, right? Chicken. Make sure it's spread out so that it can all brown on one side. You're going to put a tablespoon of sesame seeds in there with that. Now you can use sesame oil also instead of coconut oil. That's not what I chose to do. You see what I chose to do? Well, they're having a blast until in the morning. I don't understand alcohol. I can't believe I wasted so many years of my life drinking that shit. And them guys are going to waste their entire life drinking it. They're going to wake up one day and not be alive anymore and wonder where their life went. Alright, now here's our spice blend. 1 tablespoon and a teaspoon. Tablespoon and a teaspoon. If I think that's enough, I'll stop. Smells good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That smells fucking awesome. Definitely does not smell Thai anymore. The next morning, it's like, that sounds like the same headache I had last night. Or that sounds like Sinela. Sinela, Sinela. I think that's what they're listening to out there. But who am I to know? I'm just a weirdo local. I don't know nothing. Wow, that smells so good. Did I add another teaspoon? I'm gonna have to watch it when I get done and see how many I added. I almost think I need to add another one. Alright, so that should be about 4 teaspoons, 2 tablespoons, whatever it is. I can't do culinary math right now. Maybe in 10 minutes. But with all the boom booming and the gunshots and all that, it's a little difficult to do regular math, much less culinary math, which is definitely more difficult. Yeah, I think that coconut lemongrass rice would still go good with this, even though it's be a fusion at that point, I guess, right? I mean, serving it together as a meal would be a fusion, not the two separate. But I know a lot of these do have plain yogurt in them, because I've been overseas to the Middle East, and I'm telling you, I know they fucking do. Those guys never once mentioned yogurt. They said we don't use coconut oil or coconut milk, and you know. But they didn't say what they did use either. And I know what they do use. They use yogurt a lot. They drink yogurt over there. Man, that smells good. We're gonna add another, so it's 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds to this total. I'm not trying to keep any of them. I don't know what I'd ever put them in again, unless I don't know, I could make mole or something. That's got ground up pulverized sesame seeds that have been toasted in it. I could make poblano mole, that'd be good. But I'd have to go get my canner again and start canning shit again. And I'm not doing that until I make pickles. I got requests for pickles, and I need to make 2 jars at least right now. And I just found cucumbers on sale at Super One earlier. 2 for $1 for really big ones, but I'm looking for the smaller ones. Now, that chicken's not completely done. But I'm going to add that tomato. I don't think those guys maybe know how to cook up there. I don't know. He said he knows how to cook lamb. That's why I added the marjoram, because marjoram's good on roasted meats. Like, nowhere did any of those recipes call for marjoram. But if you go look at a pre-marinated lamb shank, I bet you $100 it's got marjoram in the marinade. Okay, so that's bubbling. We're gonna put a lid on it and turn the heat down to low. 15 minutes from now, that's gonna be done. We'll give it 20, just to be safe. So I paused it, I went outside, I talked to the dudes out there grilling, they're cooking also. It don't smell like this out there though. They're making mojado fish and I don't know, some other things, some fajitas and briskets and shit. It don't smell like this out there. But I came in and my timer wasn't going, so I just slapped the shit out of it and it's ticking now. And it's not gonna hurt this to cook longer. This is like a braise right now at this point, so everything's gonna be kosher when it's done. It's gonna be awesome. But we are ticking at 20 minutes, 20 minutos. We got the chili chilaca, the jalapenos, the pollo. What do we got? Cebollas, the tamarindo. That tamarind is the first time I've ever cooked with tamarind. It's gonna be pretty interesting. I don't know if I should have used more. I tasted the tomato puree I made with it, and I don't think I should have used less at all. I just don't know how much is too much on the shit, so I took it, you know, I took it light. But you don't want to open this while it's doing its thing. Man, it smells good. And I think I'm about to go outside and cut some basil, fresh basil to throw in there when it's done. Even though it's not Thai, it's still, that basil was awesome on the curry last time. Maybe I'll do the rice with basil. I don't know yet. Yeah, probably. We'll do lemongrass, ginger, garlic, basil, coconut milk, rice. Sounds pretty fire. The only thing this may needed was sugar, but none of their recipes call for sugar. The Thai ones do, brown sugar, but the Indian ones, none of them called for sugar. And like I said, they were all different, so I stayed away from that. The ones that called for bay, I paid attention. The ones that called, I threw marjoram in there, like I said, you know, but I also told you it's on lamb marinade, so they can't really not eat marjoram. That's kind of going to be forced on them if they buy a lamb here in the United States. But this should be perfect when it's done. Every screw up I make turns out perfect. I'm not bragging, because I screw up a lot and I'm like, oh shit. But my mom taught me, you know, 15 years ago, and when you should be saying oh shit or oh fuck, just say oh well and just roll with it. And it seems to work. So far so good. I wish I could have remembered that when I was going through all my really bad times instead of my day-to-day routine. It would have kept me out of a lot of shit. But I've got 10 tamarind seeds to plant, and I've got more of these to try to plant now, the ricotta seeds, the chili manzana. Ooh, I could have put some of this chili molito, the bird's eye peppers in there to make it hotter. I could add this actually after it's done to theirs, if, you know, if I think theirs needs to be hotter, but mine's gonna be plenty hot. I accidentally rubbed my eye after cutting up that apple chili without washing my hands, and not that it would have mattered because that shit's like mace, but they want it hot. And I could add, so they say use cayenne, but bird's eye pepper has a shorter, faster heat to it that doesn't last as long on the tip of the tongue, so it'd be good to put more of that in there, because the chili manzanas, they have a heat that kind of goes for a little while. But this looks more like what I've gotten in Dallas when we got kebabs of any kind. It was always a red tomato sauce like this. It did not have this interesting of a blend of peppers in it, though. You know, I've got white pepper, black pepper, and what, 7 different kinds of chilies from all over the world. So that's going to be awesome. But we might as well pause it and let this go. We got like 13 more minutes left on it. Or we could unpause it and go ahead and cook our rice. Let me find my lemongrass. I got a nice stalk of lemongrass right there. He said he was down to try new shit, which is cool, as long as he's not being a pervert about it, I guess. So, whoa. That, yeah. Whatever I got in my eyes is making me cough now. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of cut this lemongrass up. Just so the blender can get to it better. And these guys, they can eat pork. They can't eat beef. You know, the cows are sacred and shit. And I was gonna put mushrooms in this dish, but I'm not. I'm gonna put them in the rice, and I'm not gonna use a whole lot. But we're gonna throw this lemongrass in here. Very light and refreshing, you know. We're gonna throw one little nubbin of ginger off in it. I'm gonna peel it. I would say it's about a teaspoon of fresh ginger once it's pulverized. Throw that in there. Oh shit. I forgot to add my limes. But none of the recipes called for limes, so maybe I forgot those on purpose. So we got that. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of fish oil in here. With my lemongrass. Put a tablespoon of fish oil. A stalk of lemongrass. About a little nubbin of fresh garlic there. And I think my limes may be in the car. But I'm gonna put 4 big old slices of jalapenos with the seeds in there and run out to the car and get my limes. Okay, I've got 2 limes I'm gonna squeeze the juice out of. That's gonna bring out the lemongrass. And add liquid to the blender here so it'll blend correctly. Two limes is about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And I didn't really squeeze them too good, so I'm gonna squeeze a little more out of them to make it 2 tablespoons. It looks like 1.5. So we're gonna get some more out here. All right, now, as far as the rice goes, I'm gonna heat that pan up. I'm gonna use just a little bit of bacon grease right here. And about a tablespoon of butter. It's already starting to melt because I got it on high, but I'm about to turn that down. Got jasmine rice. So two of those. I'm going to turn my heat down to low and coat all this rice in oil and let it brown just a little. Ah, shit. I don't usually make that much rice at a time, so. I need to blend up my lime. I put fish oil in there, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Tablespoon of fish oil. Got my lime, ginger. I'm gonna add what I got left of mustard seed, which is just some crumbs. We're going to blend that up. We got that delicious looking paste in there. I'll set it off to the side for a minute from now. Smells good. Now, then make sure this ain't burning on the bottom. It's not. It's just toasting like we want it to. Some of that butter is still not even completely melted. But the rice is almost ready to add liquid to. So we're gonna cut up a few mushrooms. I got white ones just because they were on sale. I usually do not get white ones. I actually like the ones from the Asian store that are still growing out of the substrate. Those are pretty awesome. They have two different kinds. They're wood mushrooms. I don't remember what the technical name or what the Asian name is, but they're called wood mushrooms. But I cut up 5 of these big white ones. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in there. And my rice is browned enough, so here's the coconut milk. Okay, we put 2 cups of rice up to there, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 cups of liquid. Turn our heat up to high. Turn our heat off on this. I'm gonna leave the lid off of it so it can, some of that moisture can evaporate. But I think that's about right. I need to taste it probably once I get it good and stirred. One, 2 little tablespoons of sugar. The rest of my sesame seeds. Wow. Damn. That's good. I'm gonna add another teaspoon of this. So that's probably 5 teaspoons of your spice mix there. While it's still hot, you know. You want it to, you're gonna have all different layers of that shit going on in here. And it is kind of warm, it's not super hot. Like I said, I could make theirs super hot. Oh man, that's good. Yeah, I'd definitely make this again. Even the Mexicans would like this. It's got all their spices in it except for a couple of like weird shit like cloves. They use cloves and cinnamon. Ooh, that's good. Wow. Let's lock that flavor in. Now our rice is coming to a boil. We're gonna give it a stir, let it come to a full boil. Ooh, that's good. We can see it, so we'll know when it's boiling. When it comes to a full boil, you're gonna turn this heat down to low. And you're going to set your timer for 12 minutes and it's done. That is not bad. None of this is bad. This is really good stuff. Like, better than the shit I've had at the Indian restaurants. Which ain't saying much. A lot of those I think don't really try that hard. The recipes I saw online were very basic. But we ain't basic, so we're doing it like this. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, 12 minutes, rice is done. You know what rice looks like. You know what that looks like. That looks like chicken masala. And that's it.